So what's up, folks? Will Franca for a brand new video. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about the DJI Pocket 4 that was just released, and also about like the four new Pocket types um, that was released. So it was two. DJI has released two, which is the Pocket 4 and the Pocket 4 Pro or P, and Insta360 has released the Insta360 Luna and the Insta360 Luna Ultra. But I want to tell you guys like what that translates into, because I know that a lot of creators just come with like a bunch of like spec sheets or even footage, which is nice to see, but it's also nice to actually like understand what this translates into. So what you're gonna get with this new camera. So I'm just gonna read these spec sheets, and then I'm gonna try to, just like I was telling you guys, to translate what that actually means. So the sensor size is the same. Both the DJI Pocket 3 and the Pocket 4, they share the same 1-inch um, CMSO um, sensor, and but it's on the Pocket 4 it says that it has something called impro processing, that I can't really like tell what it is. It's probably just like a better like type of image processing, I guess. And the max video or the max resolution for the DJI Pocket 3 was 4K at 120 frames per second. And now with the Pocket 4, we have 4K at 240 frames per second. So that means that I don't need to translate that because that's really simple. So it just means that we're getting like better slow-mo with this camera. And the dynamic range, um, we went from 12 stops on the Pocket 3 to 14 stops on the Pocket 4. So that basically we just have like a better shadows and better highlights. So that means that you're gonna be able to save more of information of like things that are not as bright as um, other things that are bright, and the highlights. So like especially like skies, like sometimes you see like the footage looks perfect, but the skies are all like blown out. So that's something that having a better dynamic range helps with a lot. And the color, we went from 10-bit D-Log M to a improved 10-bit D-Log L or DL, yeah, D-Log L. And what that translates into, in my opinion, what I have seen is just like a more like organic image overall. Because one thing that I used to see is like people saying like, oh, but you can get like a very like organic look if you record in D-Log M and you do your own color grading, and that you like it's effect, but not totally and not completely, because what happens is that even when you do your color grade, in my opinion, the image still looks like not natural, something not organic and very like digital. And apparently this new like D-Log L, and also because of the dynamic range, we're gonna have like a more organic image. And I was actually able to see that with the footage from the Pocket 4, that it looks way more natural and not as digital as before with the Pocket 3. But I'm not saying that the Pocket 3 looked bad, because I love the footage and I love the videos out of the Pocket 3, but the Pocket 4 is definitely more organic and natural. And so the internal, now we have like internal storage, something that we didn't have with the Pocket 3. Now we're gonna have 107 gigabytes built in the Pocket 4, which is really nice. So you don't need to worry as much with like SD cards. But in my opinion, 107 gigabytes is gonna be like kind of like um, little, but it's better than nothing. But it is what it is. It's better having than don't have it. So the tracking, on the Pocket 3, we had something called Active Track 6, and now we have with the Pocket 4 the Active Track 7. I don't really care about this because, in my opinion, that looks like very like, like he's kind of stupid. I'm sorry, like about like the words, but to me, it looks kind of stupid. Like that thing following you like everywhere, not organic at all, and super mechanic. Like it screams like artificial. And I think that what they were trying to do when they first released that was like maybe like try to replicate something, someone like going, like and trying to like record you and follow you, but it doesn't look like that at all. It's not natural at all, at least in my opinion, and it looks very like 2016, I would say. So now about the controls, with the Pocket 3 we had minimal buttons, and now with Pocket 4 we have extra buttons plus the 5D joystick. I don't really care about that. So the battery we went from 1300 mi 1300 to 1545, and so the battery should be better, and I'd say that you should get like at least like an extra 45 minutes to an hour. And now talking about the slow motion, already talked about that before with the frame rate, and it says here that the Pocket 4 is significantly better. We know that. The photos out of the Pocket 3 used to be 9 megapixels, and the Pocket 4 is 37. So this is more than twice, more than the double of the resolution of the Pocket 3, and I think that's gonna be great for pictures, especially when we're trying to also for video when you're trying to like zoom in, that's gonna be better when you have more megapixels. But I think overall, guys, what I was trying to say, like besides the spec sheets, is just that we will definitely see, and we are seeing already, like a more organic image and something that, in my opinion, looks very much like the first time that I was seeing the footage. I was like, was this recorded on an FX3? Before I know that, before I knew that it was the Pocket 4, because in my opinion, they got to a point where now the image looks very organic. And I'm gonna talk about the pro version in the next video because I want to touch on a subject that is really like complex for people to understand, which is called false bokeh. So because like I know that people love like this shallow depth of field and the background separation, but when you are using like a telephoto lens, you get something called that is false bokeh. That is on the name, it explains itself that is a false type of bokeh, but in my opinion, it looks better than even like better than fast lenses. So, and I always wonder that because I remember that the first time when I bought my first telephoto lens and I was shooting like at f8 at f11, and I was like, why is there so much background separation, with like such like a dark lenses? And now I know why, because I did a lot of research and I I learned about like this that is called false bokeh. So I want to touch on that subject with you guys, but it's gonna be left for the next video when I talk about the Pocket 4 Ultra, because it's more important because we don't have a telephoto lens with the Pocket 4. But and I'm also gonna talk about the DJI, the Luna and the Luna Ultra very soon. I'm just waiting on more information, more footage, so I can come with my conclusions and what my perceptions about the image, footage, camera, spec sheets, and everything. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that helps me a lot. And I see you in the next one. Bye.